Okay. Alright. Okay, so... Esperia Prowler Utility. So, again, like, the thing is... the thing in my mind about that ship is, like, why, like, this... Like, why does this exist? I mean, like, cargo... Okay, from a gameplay standpoint... Clearly, presumably, they want to have a ship. They need a ship for Alien Week, what can we do? And probably the easiest new thing to do is to make a variant of an existing thing, rather than make an entirely new thing. I don't know, like, it's not to say that making a variant is easy, but, it's not to say that making a variant is easy, but it is definitely not going to be as much work, because basically they did have to, you know, do some tweaks, do some updates on the Prowler, but they didn't have to redesign the entire thing. They needed to change around the cargo area, and a little bit about, you know, they added the component room. They, you know, had to do a little bit touch up on the outside and the and a few things, you know, just on the inside in general. But overall, not too much. I don't think it's necessarily to say that there's any. Well, also, cargo is something that exists and is, you know, a thing. And honestly, I haven't used the Prowler utility, but it would appear to be possibly the cleanest cargo tractor beam thing that they've done. It looks like it actually works very, very well. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But yeah. Oh, it was also hilarious. I was watching Astropub look at it, and no offense, Astropub. It was a silly little mistake, but like, so it has 16 SCU cargo grids on either side for a total of 32 SCU. When he was looking at it, he saw a 1 SCU cargo container and thought it was an 8 SCU cargo container, because, you know, it's law of squares or whatever, you know, a 1 by 1 by 1 and then a 2 by 2 by 2, you know, is, you know, this is how that works. But yeah, let me think. What? Oh yeah. So I mean, like, it makes sense why they would want to have it. I mean, again, it is a smuggling ship. And those mechanics just don't really exist, or the gameplay doesn't really exist properly for it. So there's a lot of things about that. But, well, yeah. So And I do think it's a bit sad because, honestly, I do think they could have made some lore for it. They could have... I mean, it might have felt like, oh, we just kind of BS'd this, and like, oh, we want to make this ship, and then we went to the lore team to make it make sense. But I mean, like, alright, so, you know, the Tevarin War, you're doing the fighting, the Tevarin have all their ships and stuff, then they lose the war, and then they have to, you know, some of them have to try and integrate into the UEE, or, you know, pursue other, you know, businesses or other things in the universe. And, you know, part of that is cargo. So, like, literally just, oh, we have all these warships, we don't need warships now. Let's convert them to cargo ships. And then you continue with that thought where, like, yeah, you take, you know, potentially a tank and turn it into a tractor. Or something like that. You follow along with that idea, and then you have a purpose-built tractor that might have, you know, some tank-like qualities to it. And in the case of this, it can literally just be, hey, you took a dropship, you modified a cargo room into it, or you modified it to carry cargo, and then that design stuck with, you know, a few maybe more, hey, we're gonna purpose build this properly for this. So they could have literally called it, you know, or they could have literally just said that. I mean, that totally believable, totally plausible. Let's see, what else? I know there are some people who are like, why... Where Raylan? Where's my Raylan? And it's like... I don't know, I don't think I've heard that many people complaining about that, because it's like, the Raylan is a large ship. Like, if they had to make the Prowler, like, it would have taken less time to make the entirety of the Prowler than it would have taken to make the entirety of the Raylan. So naturally, like, you know, it's, you know, if it's just taking a variant, or making a variant, it's gonna be less time. They wouldn't have been able to get the Raylan out. I mean, I don't know, if they had taken the time to... I don't know how old the Raylan is. But I think, like, yeah, I mean, if they had... if they had made the Raylan, or started production of the Raylan when they, when the concept sale went out, then that would have been a thing. That is also something that we haven't gotten a concept sale in forever. So, like, also, did I mention with Star Citizen? I feel like I should have led with that. Anyway, it's not important. Concept sales. So, there are arguments for and against them. I mean, argument against them is that they're, you know, selling a thing that they're promising to make, and then they're probably not going to make for, you know, potentially a very long time. And yeah, understandable. But oh jeez. One cough, scaring the ever-living shit out of me. Amazing. So yeah, the whole JPEG thing, like, we have so many ships that haven't been released. And people, you know, like, will they ever release, kind of thing. And especially, you know, there's some things like the MTC that, like, I like the MTC, for the most part. There are some things that are like, what is the deal with this thing? Why does this exist? But, why does it have those 4 1SCU containers? They could have made a 1SCU cargo grid. I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty certain that that could have happened. But, So, yeah. What else? Oh yeah, also the G12, like, there's no reason that they shouldn't have made the G12. Like, I mean, the G12, like, okay, so the MTC released for Invictus, which is, you know, like a military-themed event. But the G12, the concept sale was, the concept was released at Invictus, right? So, like, I'm pretty sure. So, it just would have made sense to do it that way, but they didn't. So, that's where we're at. I guess I haven't talked too positively of concept sales. I kind of like the idea because you get to, because if they do their damn job with open development, you actually get to follow along with the progression with the progress of the ship. And, I mean, like, can we really talk about the open development thing? Because, like, well, maybe I'll save it for the next episode, because why not? But yeah, I mean, like, you potentially get to see the progression of it, and, you know, have interesting, you know, discussions about where, like, how the game's going to change with this ship in it, and all that stuff, and, you know, there's also the, there's also the CCU game, the upgrades game, where ships' value increase. I don't know if the values have ever increased on concepts, or if it's, you know, only been things that have already released. Because usually, you know, you'll get a ship that sells for $300, and then, or you'll have a concept that's for $300, and then it'll go up to $310, and then maybe it'll go up to $315 or $320 or $330 or something at some point. And, you know, part of that's inflation, part of that's, you know, giving early adopters a little price benefit. Which, I don't know, there's a lot of ways to look at that and to think of that and to react to that, but yeah. I don't know, dude. Until next time, good day, great day even. Chowskis.